Hey, it's MK. I I started creating without turning the camera on really quickly, but I do have to tell you guys that what I am creating is not mine. It is not, well, the pictures are mine, the papers are mine, everything is mine, but it's not my design, it's not my layout, it's not anything. Excuse me. So I really quickly wanted to show you that I bought this right here. It's a Hawthorne 14 page, which is double page, so it's only 7 layouts right there. I know you guys can't see the layouts really well, but it's from a fellow close to my heart consultant right there, and there is her page, there's her blog, and there's her email, okay, all that good stuff. To contact her to get this. Now this paper pack is retired, but she keeps her instruction guide so you guys can use whatever papers you want, you know, based on her dimensions and directions and things like that. So kind of like the workshops that I used to do, but I kind of took a break from those, and now I really loved what she did with this paper pack. And why reinvent the wheel when she's already done all of her hard work? And so that's basically what I think about anybody that has come up with a really pretty design for a paper pack. You know, I really don't want to reinvent the wheel. I love what they did, like 110%. So I usually don't create workshops when I can direct them for paper packs. Let me back that up. I usually don't create workshops for certain paper packs when a consultant has done, you know, just as much effort to create them, and they're amazing. So I'd rather, you know, direct the traffic over there instead of, hey, mine are just as good. Well, not really, but they can be if that's all you see, right? So I've already cut up all my papers. I've got all of the other 6 layouts right here. So this is layout 7, and then there's 6 more layouts right here, ready for they're pre-cut. I've got all the die cuts going on. I've got all the punch outs going on, and I just need to find photos to do those. But these ones, I thought I'd turn on the camera and show you guys really quickly that even though this, like, so let me show you right here. So these are her layouts that she did. This is the left page and this is the right page. All right. And if you notice, she's got 4, I can't count. She's got 4 photo strips with 3 photos each. Or, you know, you could put 5 photos in a journaling spot and 5 photos in a journaling spot, right? So it's 12 to 10 photos, or 10 to 12 photos, however you count, because I can't, obviously. But I wanted to show you guys, this is how many photos that I had. And so clearly I did not have that many photos. So I have what? 7 photos, right? Can I count? Yes, I can count today. Yay! So I had 7 photos, but I also had a bunch of photos that I did not want to cut down to the 3-inch size. And so I just created this insert to go into, you know, the in between the pages of my double page layout. So it's actually going to be 4 pages, but I created a smaller page because I have like, what, 2 pictures on one and 3 on the other. So I'm going to create a smaller layout for the in-between of these, and what we are, what my daughter and I are doing, my eldest daughter and I. So I basically, all this is showing you guys, I took this, so these were the original, sorry, I should have brought that over. So these were the original cuts that she has on her cut file on her design space. And basically what I did is I did not want, you know, this strip. I needed a longer strip, and I needed an uneven longer strip, and again, say it again, an even longer strip. You know, I did not want to cut my photos down to the 3x3. I wanted to keep them, you know, just, I cut them as low as I could, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So original cuts, and all I did was I basically took this and used it as a template, and I flipped this over. I drew on the back my pencil line, you know, so I got the same exact little sketch thing here, or tab thing, and then I cut it to the way I wanted my photo, leaving, I think it's a 1/16 of an inch on either side, so an eighth of an inch bigger than what I wanted. And then same with these. These are exactly the same width. I just needed the length, and I did not want to use this and then put another piece of paper on top and then have that line so it show through. I mean, I was just being a little picky. Now this one I still have to cut down. I just decided, you know what, I'm going to turn the camera on so people can understand the idea behind a workshop and how to manipulate it to make it your own. So I cut these because I didn't know what, you know, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what pictures I wanted. I had no idea. So these ones were cut, and they're going to go into the little insert here. So that way I have the same elements going across all 4 pages. So I have the other 2 from the other side in there as well, because I just made 4 brand new ones. You know, waste not, want not. So they go inside there, and I will do that layout probably after this one, so that way it's fresh in my brain of how I wanted to do it. Now the other elements, these were all elements that, you know, either was part of the cut file, which is this little, oh, what is it called? I don't know. Which I cut in half, so it was like this, and I cut it in half. And then these are all like cut aparts or like Project Life cards, like this one was a Project Life card. These ones, this was a Project Life card. These were part of the die cut cut file. And then these were punch outs that were part of the kit. So she includes elements not only from outside of the original material that you're going to get to do the workshops. Okay, so let me back up 15 steps really quickly. What I mean by workshop, I totally forgot because it was hidden. This is close to my heart's workshop. Notice it's the same name as what she labeled hers. These are the pages that you can create using close to my heart's workshop. Now, when this was available, you bought everything came inclusive in this workshop, other than the tools that you need, like the scissors and journaling pens and glue and things like that, to make 2 single pages and 2 layouts. Okay, which is what they consider a layout, is a double page spread. Okay, different language, even though it's all the same. It gives you a cutting guide of how to cut each piece of paper. Okay, and then it shows you kind of a guide of how to put the layout together, and I mean dimensions all the way down to how far down from the top is this photo, and you know, how far in is it, things like that. So same with all of these. Really super cool. Okay, super cool. And last one is that one. Okay, sorry, I flipped through it really quickly. So when you purchase this workshop from Close to My Heart, you just go online and you ask, you know, yes, I would like it, you know, as a kit. You can buy just the paper. You can buy the paper with the punch outs, which are these little pieces right here. You can buy the paper with the punch outs. You can buy the paper, actually I think they're stickers. Oh heavens, I forgot. I can't remember now. And then you have extra little elements like these little wooden, which you can't see. Let me see if I can get you a better picture, because I didn't purchase the wooden elements. But you can get these little wooden elements that are an add-on, right? They're all add-on to make your, I think they are. Are they not? Yes, they, oh no, they're not. They're not. They come in the kit. I apologize. So ignore everything I just said. But there are more that you can do. Let me see if I have, please hold. Okay. So ignore this catalog because it is retired. See, I was not prepared for this at all. Okay, but maybe it'll help me explain it a little bit better, right? So here is the Hawthorne collection, and they are stickers, by the way. They're stickers. So this is the paper line. You can buy the papers by themselves. You can buy the papers with the sticker. You can buy, you cannot buy the sticker by itself. So it's either the sticker with the papers or just the paper. They have coordinating cardstock, so that way you don't have to go to a big box store and guess what matches. So this is and to me, that's a pretty good deal because you get 12 sheets of paper for less than $10. Okay, it's $9.95. Then you have some, what they call compliments. Now I think I have some of those to show you right here. And these are craft compliments that are pretty, I mean, they're almost chipboard, but not quite as thick. And then you have additional wooden veneer right here. That's the one that I thought I had, was this wood veneer. And then you have these pocket page cards, which mine are mostly used up, but these are they're just like Project Life cards. But they're called Picture My Life cards, okay? And then you flip it and you've got coordinating stamp sets that go beautifully with these, depending on, you know, are you a card maker? Are you a scrapbooker? Are you a little bit of both? It just depends on, you know, your level of what you want to do. Now, the images here, if you notice that some of them are like different colors than the others, this just means that it has a coordinating die cut to go with it. So this whole stamp set has a coordinating die cut to go with. So anyways, just a little tidbit if you ever pick up one of our magazines. So next up in line is the Scrapbook Workshop. Now it shows the 2-page layouts right here. I think these are single page, but I can't remember. But it shows the layouts, and everything that comes in the kit is listed right here. So you get the papers, you get cardstock, you get the sticker sheet, you get page protectors, the craft embellishments. These ones are only available in the workshop, so it's not independent of, but they're exclusive to the workshop. And then you get punch outs, and that's what I meant by this piece here. This piece came from the punch out from this workshop. Okay, and then of course, oh, here's the other layout. So here's a 2-page layout, here's a 2-page layout, and then these are the single-page layouts. Sorry. And then there's also a card collection that you can buy, and that one actually comes with a stamp set and coordinating dies. So it's all inclusive, again, minus the tools and the adhesive that you need to put it together. And of course, the tools. Yeah, I said that already. So anyways, what Kelly does, is she takes this and goes above and beyond, you know. So yes, this is great. These layouts are awesome. In fact, I did these layouts and I purchased another set because I wanted to do more. I just loved the look and the color and the feel of this paper pack. And so I bought it again, but I wanted to buy Kelly's because I liked how she took it from a fall theme and I could make it into 7 unfall themes. You know, so like this one here that I am particularly doing is it's a trip to a theme park. Just because of the elements that she used. It didn't have anything to do with the paper packet or anything like that. Would I have preferred to do it a little bit brighter of paper? Absolutely. But the best part is that I can, now that I have her cutting guide, I have the original cutting guide that came with this workshop. Now what I can do is I can take this and create this all over again using a brighter collection. Okay, if I wanted to really use a brighter collection on this particular theme park that we went to for a day. And so anyways, no, I don't. This is perfect. All the greenery goes with it. I love all the elements, you know, that are already put in here. And Lagoon in Salt Lake has been around oh my gosh, since I can remember. So I really like all the retro things, the retro elements that are on this page. And so that's kind of why I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. I love how all the green, and look at how I took pictures of all this greenery and whatnot. So anyways, that's where I was headed. And then I kind of, sorry, I keep apologizing and I keep, rewinding myself, but the more I manipulated this particular layout, the more I wanted to turn the camera on and show you guys that just because she offers these layouts and just because they offer these layouts doesn't mean that you cannot manipulate them for what you need them for. That was one of the biggest deals that some of my customers had, was I don't have anything that goes with how that layout is set up. My pictures don't fit, my this doesn't fit. I mean, if all of my pictures were a 4x6, which is exactly what this is a 4x6, then that's exactly how I would have done it, is taken the 4x6s and then just kind of had them like all laying across, like maybe one up here, one over there, and then one over here, and had them going across my page or up my page to match this design element here, or even down and up, to kind of match, like a roller coaster going this way, things like that. So the sky is the limit. This is just a jumping off point. And that's how I've always described the workshops, is the workshops are a starting point to get you going, but don't, like me, I don't have anything glued down. Because then I can add like a strip of something right here on this edge, or I can border punch something and have it going up that makes me look like it's, like a railroad tie or something. Just anything. I haven't decided yet. I just wanted to turn the camera on to show you guys, one, what I was doing, because I seem to scrapbook and forget to take the camera or turn the camera on. And two, I really wanted to show you guys how you can manipulate these layouts and really make them work for you. It's just, the cutting is done, the design is done, now you just need to add your own photos. So don't wait for the right photo, make them work for you. So I am going to finish this layout. I'll probably put you guys on fast forward. I might come back and talk a little bit if you guys want to hear my voice. But yeah, I will probably just come back. I'll probably just put it on fast forward and do a voiceover for the rest of this. But I did want to share this with you guys and what it was, where I got all of this and how I started, and the fact that everything's already cut. I do have 6 of these layouts. I'm not sure if I'm going to film them all, but I will try, especially if you guys would like to see it. All right. Thank you so much. I will be right back with the fast forwarding process. All right, let's get this layout put together. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere the pre-cut pieces. And then I reached into my stash for this like coppery shimmer trim, and it was already pre-cut. I must have done it a long time ago, but I ran it through a scallop punch, and so it doesn't come like this. It comes on a roll. It's about a little less than ½ an inch thick, but I'm just putting it where I think that the photos and all the embellishments aren't going to cover it up. So that's super fun. This is my favorite little embellishment to add, is this shimmer trim. It just adds so much for being such a little tiny little thing. There it is. That's what I was showing you guys, that it doesn't come punched. It comes straight, but it can be ran through simple punches. You can't put it through like one of the intricate ones, but the little scallops are pretty cool. So once I've got that all done, I'll bring back all the goodies, and I need to finish gluing that one photo mat together. I don't know why I haven't done that yet.
I think it was because I wanted to turn the camera on and show you guys what I was up to. I can't create videos if it doesn't ever turn it on, right? So again, these photo mats were all hand cut. Well, not all of it. The little ticket part up at the top was hand cut, but then of course I used the trimmer based on the size photos that I did. And now I'm just going to lay it all out together. It does come together really quickly, considering somebody else did all the work for me. So, just going to fiddle fart with it. Just glue it down already. That would be okay. I say that now. So, I do have the like her original design, Kelly's original design off on the right. I do have that, and so I'm kind of looking to see which elements she added to it, but I know that I don't add all the elements that she added to it. I do leave some out. I just don't like cluttered layouts. This does look cluttered though. It does indeed. So those little chipboard or craft embellishments are pretty cool. I actually like them. I don't like how they have the little nubbins on them, and I know that I probably complain about them every layout, but I am still anti nubbin. Yeah. So I was trying to mix it up a little bit. I didn't like how both of the hexagon little pieces or half pieces were both at the top of each side. So I was trying to mix it up just a little bit, but it didn't end up working. There wasn't enough space on the right page for all of that to work out. So now I'm just trying to find final placement before pulling out my glue. And these little wooden pieces have stars in the center, and you just poke them all out, and then you have two embellishments, which I thought was pretty cool. But some of the ones I couldn't get out on my own, so I had to just use my scissors to poke the little star out, get it freed up, I guess. So once I figure out where all of these are going to go, I use my glue gun, not glue gun, oh my god, my liquid glue to adhere all of those on there, and I saved you loads of time watching me do that. So there are the final pages, you know, using Kelly's idea, but making it my own, basically. That's what it ends up being. I really like how they turned out.
Okay, so as a bonus, I thought that I would get on really quick and show you guys that I'm going to start this little insert, this little 2-page 8.5 by 11 that I have. This is one side and this is the other. These right here are all of my scraps from this particular workshop. So what I have is the, well, these aren't scraps, but these are a couple wood veneer that I pulled out of a collection that I had sitting on my desk. There are those. I used them in the 2-page layout right here. That's these little guys right here. And then, so I pulled those out just so that way I had more stars to match the other layouts. Even though they are kind of funky stars, they're still more stars. This is from the zip strip that I just cut, or not cut, I actually ripped out. I have a couple pocket page cards right here. This one I cut down so that way it could go either direction. This one here is actually the other side of this one, but it had those cute little stars on it. So I thought that that would be kind of cute. These right here were from another, I believe it went like this, or maybe it went like, I don't remember. But this design right here is the same design as this little element right here. Okay, so pulling in a few things, I have abundance of these little They're called photo placement cards, and so I thought I would use those to frame in my photos. This pattern here is exactly the same. I keep pulling this in, I'm sorry. Is exactly the same as that pattern, just a different color. Okay, and then of course another pocket page card. Now, I also have some of the elements that I did not use that were supposed to go on those 2 pages. So I didn't use this captured or this memories. I didn't use this, I don't even know what that's called. I do know what it's called, but I don't know what it's called. And then I was supposed to use this as well, according to her directions. So I chose not to use those, so that way I could kind of spread them across 4 pages. So I have that. Then I pulled out this. Now this is the leftovers that I had from the kit that I told you guys that I was going to, that I already made, which was the original Close to My Heart kit. So inside here I have this little guy that is kind of like, what is that called? A hexagon, but I kind of glued it already so it's stuck in the bag. I have another one of these stars, which I used on the other side. I don't plan on doing any school layouts. I just don't do those types. Here's a memory that I have. I have loads of little cutouts and some wood veneer. Awesome. I have a star I can play with. Ampersand. I like the numbers. I like Let's Do This. That was supposed to be in the other one. This was also supposed to be used in the other layout. I might throw those in there. I don't do the whole swag thing. It's not fall. I'm not going to use those. I might do more of these, but I've got this whole like piece of paper here. Hang on, I'm trying to get to it. I've got this, which will be kind of cool for both sides to have that. A border sticker, and then I have this. So I might use that as well and put all of these back in. I don't think that those will go very well. And I pulled out a different arrow, so I'm not going to use those at all either. Okay, so I picked up a few other things. I got a star that was left over. These right here were already elements from here that I was supposed to use. I totally forgot that I was actually supposed to use them. I wasn't paying attention. Go me. So I didn't put them on my layout. So I have all of those, and I think I'm good to go. So again, I will put you guys on fast forward. I just thought that since this was a continuation and I did these layouts kind of super fast because I already had everything cut out, that I would do a little bonus layout that doesn't have a direction. But again, it's going to go inside my, in between my 2 pages. So let's see what I can do. And let me see if I can get a game plan. Okay? All right.
Off camera, I made a bunch of decisions of how I was already going to cut out my layouts or my papers, which papers were going to go on which ones. And then I realized very quickly that I had too many photos for just an 8.5 by 11. So what I'm doing now is making another tiny little insert, which will actually become a flip flap, but I don't make up that decision until after I'm done recording. So what I did was I put part of their little flyer / map on a piece of cardstock just to give it a little backer, a thickening. And then I'm going to take these tickets that we got throughout the park and glue them on the back, kind of make like a little collage type thing just to fill in the back. And I'm going to use these little scraps to fill in the blank spaces. So again, I want it to look very collagey, very busy, throwing in tickets and receipts and stuff like that. So that was my goal, is to get it to look like, one of those papers where you have a bunch of postcards thrown all over the place and then it looks like somebody took a picture of it. That's kind of what I wanted it to look like. So that's what I am doing. Then I'll trim off everything on the edge. And that little bit that I just trimmed off, this little piece, I can't remember what it says, but I really wanted it on the layout just because of what it says. Oh, I wish I remembered what it said. But I find it a home, and no one will even notice. So, and to fill in a couple gaps, I'm going to add a few more embellishments. Not anything, spectacular or anything like that, but I'm just going to cover up that red line that they draw through to show that you've used your ticket type thing, because that just stuck out like a sore thumb. And I had to take a second to remember, if I pull it towards me, will I see a white, or if I pull away from me, do I see a white line? That's very important based on what you want in your design, right? So, adding this on there really quick. Again, all I'm doing is covering up white spaces with just the few bits that I picked out of the pile. That's it. So that's done. Now I'll move on to the layout. Now I haven't glued anything down. Basically all I did was decide that that large yellow piece of paper that had this hexagon print, I was going to cut it, but I didn't want to just slice it in half. So what I did, which you guys can't even tell after I'm done gluing everything down, but what I did was I took my scissors and cut apart from the hexagon in hopes that you'll be able to see that design. But honestly, unless you're looking for it, you really don't. I'm using the little tabbed photo mats as they are. I didn't cut them down or alter them or anything like that. So there's where you can see where I cut the yellow bit. So again, I cover most of it up. You don't even get to see it. But the design and the idea was there. So I'm adding another little strip of that coppery shimmer trim just to bring the same elements from the larger pages into the smaller pages. So they kind of look cohesive, but they're not the same, if that makes, I don't know. I feel like I'm not making any sense. I kind of feel like I'm still sleeping. I apologize. So when I put glue on the back of anything, I really don't smush it down with my hands yet. So that way it's just sitting on top for reasons of tucking and things like that. So in case you're thinking I'm pulling things up and out, they're not really adhered just yet. So I cut those little stars off that scrap of Project Life or pocket card there, so I can use that little star. I know I have a really bad habit of not throwing anything away. It drives everyone nuts. But I like doing stuff like that. Eventually, I will use up my supplies. So I inked the edges of this Let's Do It tag just because it kind of got lost in the hexagon print, and I did have to kind of pull up that photo to tuck it underneath just so it looked like I pre-planned putting that there. So here is the other side of the hexagon, and I just wanted that same angular element that I had in the larger photos. I just wanted to do that really quick. Again, to try and make it look like I did it on purpose type thing. And I cut out the map from the little flyer. I wanted that map on there because now their maps are, I believe, a whole page. So this was back in 2015. And now when you go to Lagoon, which is in Salt Lake, I believe when you get a map, it's the full flyer width. It's grown so much. I just absolutely love it. And this particular ride happens to be like, as soon as we walk in the door, this is the first ride we want to go get on. Not only because then it'll take all day to dry us out, but it's our favorite ride. It really is. The operator of the ride has complete control. And so he doesn't just push a button and it runs its cycle. He leaves you hanging for the waterfalls to come up in your face, or, you know, based on the people that get on the ride, you know, he leaves you to where your back is on it and it splashes up and then around you, you know, he has complete control. Anyways, so ta-da, it's all done. Again, not much, just using leftovers from the previous Close to My Heart kit and what I did not use for Kelly's. I really like how they turned out.
Okay, so I am back with the completed project and everything that I got from this one little kit that I got from an entire workshop. Now, mind you, I did pull out some supplies from a leftover kit that I had previously, because the kit that Kelly created used up almost every bit of piece of paper, which I think is pretty cool. But luckily I had some scraps, and I used up most of those scraps, so I'm super excited. So here is the original layout that I created, that it will be in my scrapbook just like this. And then in between these two pages, I will have this page right here, so it will look like this. Let me move that out of the way. So it will look like this, and then you flip it, so I have this little angle kind of going at the same way, but it'll be in the center, so it's a little off, but I don't think a lot of people are going to notice that, right? And then you flip it, and it's, whoop, not like that. And then it's going to look like this on the other side. So then this looks like the 2-page spread of other things. So that way it's kind of different. This angle is more up at the top rather than down below, but I kind of like it. I don't think it's going to be, plus it's going to look like that in my book, to be honest. But I kind of like the directional portion. It leads your eye that way. In a way, I don't know. I'm not a designer, so I have no idea. But I did have a little bit more embellishment, or ephemera? Memorabilia? Whatever you want to call it, that I wanted to include in this. So right in here, nope, right here, because this is the Cannibal ride. Now, we didn't get to ride on it because they were actually testing it, so they had just the cars going. It wasn't quite open just yet to the public, but it was in their flyer. And so this piece here, I wanted to capture. It's got a little explanation about the ride, all that stuff, you know, all the, like, the history, or not history, but like, you know, the ins and outs of it, I guess I should say. The mechanics of it, which is my favorite, right? Numbers. So that will go right in here, and then flipped on the other side. So when you look at it like this, it will look like this. And then when you flip it, this and this kind of go together in my brain, but in my book as well. So this piece right here, these are our tickets. And then we had some bounce back tickets. So if we came back within a certain amount of time, it was going to be like $15 a person rather than the $45 a person. And so of course I just decorated the bottom because I had a bunch of white space that I didn't like, and I wanted to make it look like, you know, one of those postcards that has a ton of stuff attached to it. So I really, really like it. And then again, this will be, you know, on this page, on this side. And then when you flip it, you can read about Cannibal. And this is the actual, as the Ferris wheel was going around, that's how I got these pictures. So anywho, that is that. And that is my layout made by Kelly, Kelly Fitzgerald. And then also my 2-page spread of 8.5 by 11 insert that I did. Just because I had so many more photos and I did not want to shrink them. Now, if I was to reprint them, let me grab her original real quick. Now, if I was to have reprinted all of these photos, I bet I would have been able to make this work, and it still would have looked just as good as her original layout. However, I love the impact of the size of photos, and it's, for me, it's about the photos. It's not about all of these embellishings and stuff. It truly is the photos rather than this stuff. So I left a bunch of stuff out that she that she used on hers, just because I felt like it was too busy. And then I also was going to include one of these on this page because I still had it right here available, but I totally forgot about it. So I definitely, I don't think it needs it, because when you flip this, I know I keep talking about this, but when I flip this, I can still see it. I don't even miss it on here, right? And when I flip this, I can still see them. I don't miss it on here. So I don't think that I really needed it, because this right here was such a large element, and I didn't really think it needed it. So I'm good to go. I hope you guys liked this. Again, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see me cut all of this up, but it was a whole kit, so you guys probably would have got really bored watching me cut, not just for this page, but for six more layouts. And then I also did not show you guys the footage of this because I forgot to turn the camera on. So I apologize about that as well. And I will see you guys for the second layout. I'm going to find some photos and see what I can do. Thanks.